She walks it loud like a thunderstorm, debunking myths with style and form. True crime, conspiracies, her game. Melissa Jade, remember her name. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Microphone fierce like a roaring lion, unveiling secrets people been hiding. True crime queen of the digital scene, Melissa's got you hooked on her screen. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. From murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. 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 She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame.
Crap, I was muted. Hello, everybody. Hi, Allie.
Hey.
I'm giggling because I'm typing in this chat. Holy crap, Natasha, you're smoking. This is the first time I saw a different photo of Natasha, and I had a double look like, who's that mod of mine? And I'm like, you're so gorgeous. I love the new photo.
I love it too. It's so pretty. I was looking at it earlier. Melissa, for the first good part of my stream earlier, I was questioning is that Natasha? Is that a new Natasha?
It was the wrench that gave it away for me, but I was like, who dat? But I realized that's probably inappropriate that I'm like, yo, smoking. I could have just said, you look so pretty. You look so pretty, which you do, but hot damn. You look great. But whoo, hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm pretty good. I was just wrangling a heater to bring it outside to get that with me on my porch. Yeah, so now I have a heater out here and everything, so I'm more comfortable and
that works.
Yeah,
I've seen the nice outside heaters where when you're at a restaurant or something and it's like an umbrella of heat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that would be awesome. This is just a little ceramic heater I bought for inside for the spring, so I don't have to turn on the main heat, and I've got it plugged up outside, but hey, it's working pretty good.
If it works, then that's great, because it is chilly tonight. It's more than chilly, so I literally, dude, and Allie, I took a shower in 12 minutes, literally, okay, because I was like, should I do it? Can I wait till after? And I did it, okay. But when I went out, and I'm always kind of hot, but I had to park over yonder, through a holler, the cleavage of the lands, okay, and it was a 10-minute walk, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it was cold. I knew I was gonna be screwed when I was walking there freezing, and then I'm like, in 4 hours from now it's gonna be dark, and really it was cold. I had a pep in my step, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, sounds freaking miserable. I hate being cold, and but yeah, I'm glad that we're here tonight. And cold or not, hey, I'm not cold no more. I got a heater out here. I'm ready to go.
I'm good now. And I'm so excited. Okay, so you did a Watts live tonight, and so if you want to tell everyone how like you're going to be going back through all of the Watts discovery, and I know a lot of us come from the Watts community, and how much did you get done tonight? Like what part did you go through?
Just the first beginning reports and some of the evidence that was grabbed, like the physical items of evidence. But honestly, Melissa, as much and as long as I've watched so much on the case, so many interviews, so many people talking and talked about it for years, I have never just read through all of the police reports and stuff. And I got to thinking like about some of these other cases, like Letitia, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
There's such a difference in what's portrayed on social media versus what the actual facts are. So yeah, I want to know. I want to be like, I don't know. I just want to know what I'm talking about and know the facts and not just the social media narrative. So that's the plan.
100%. And I'm so excited because the Watts is a case that I'll never kind of like let go of. That's what brought me not to the true crime community, but the true crime live streaming community, where I realized, hey, there's not just pre-records, there are people who talk and give our thoughts. And I could click on this panel. Oh my God, like I could go up there, like, and so I'll always have like an attachment because of that too. But I've spent so many days and years going over that case, really believing that there's just something that doesn't add up. It's just not an open and shut type of case.
Well, you know what? Today, actually, in one of the first reports, I saw 1242. And I remember hearing about this, but seeing it like in the police documents is different. So, they weren't called to the house until like 1:40. But at 12:42, the garage was opened. And that would be the only way for somebody to leave. It clearly said that in the document. Like, so it just makes you wonder. I can't wait to see what other little things like that, pop up, because who was that then?
And we went over shadows. We went through shadows, and about armchair detective, like that lawsuit finally going through and stuff.
Yeah. And he's one who found the shadows. But also, Melissa, that alert about the garage was only on Shanann's phone. It was not on Chris's.
How interesting. Wait, no way.
Yeah. Yep.
See, I'm looking forward to when you get to the part of that picture, the picture that was taken of the dolls that, oh, look what the kids did, like with the CPR.
Yeah.
Like that always will bother me, that one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to say, if you were someone that got gifted a Patreon last night, I didn't forget about you. Don't worry. It's just been a very busy day. I will send you those emails. And I know MK got 2 Patreons to gift. Thank you so much, MK. That's incredibly kind of you. And so we'll gift those out. But let me pull up, look at our missing child for tonight. Okay.
That's so sweet, MK. Thank you.
So sweet. You did not have to do that, but thank you so much. But this is, I think it's Salim, if I'm not, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think that sounds like the most, I'd say that you're close. I think that's right.
So Salim Rupita, male, 1 year old, missing since May 25th, 2024, out of Gary, Indiana. It says Salim and Maria, which is going to be an associated child, may still be in the local area, or they may travel to California. So here is Maria. She is 15 years old. So if you or anyone you know has information on their whereabouts, please contact the Gary Police Department at 1-219-660-0000.
Just a little baby.
Just a little baby. Prayers, absolutely, bless them. It's so terrifying because there's new ones every day. And it's just terrifying, honestly.
It's kind of crazy because, like YouTube or social media might get stuck on, like, it seems like a lot of this community is kind of following the Sebastian Rogers case, right? And that's important. I'm glad that they are, but look how many other kids are missing.
It's important, but I feel like we have all accepted that creators aren't doing this from the goodness of their heart, all of them, as far as the repeated nonstop, because there is no new information coming out. I am not against repeated content. I do become obsessive with cases. Like when I dive into one, like I just said with the Watts, right? Like every day for years. It's not about that, but when usually there's information to go over what they're doing right now, there's no information and it's just a bunch of drama, and it's honestly heartbreaking. Stop that movie. I mean, hit the thumbs up, but stop that.
Well, it's like the damn like with Letitia, and
Yes.
I know that people have kind of compared that to doing that as well, and I see it so differently because we're actually going through real case files, real phone calls, jail files, evidence, not just, well, what do you think? Oh my
Right.
gosh, what do you think about this new rumor?
No way. I don't know, y'all.
Yeah.
It's just it's horrible, so if it was really about a missing child, what about all of the, and it really is interesting because we've seen before, it's either sometimes you could get too much coverage, and that is a thing when it's no longer about the facts and it's just about like crazy speculation and drama, and then families who are desperate to get any attention and that just can't.
Oh my God, that is so sad because it's so true. You have some families who are like, please leave us alone. Let us have some space. And then some who are like, please, just one local news segment, just one, anything.
Yes.
It's sad.
It is very sad, and it makes you wonder which ones get pushed out. Like, what are the factors that make them get pushed out?
Yeah.
But okay, so I'm really excited because we are going to be watching the second portion of the other roommate of Casey Anthony's current boyfriend at the time. Yesterday we had Cameron. He was a little Justin Bieber looking, adorable young kid, honestly, young adult. But now we're moving on to, what's his name? Nathan Lesnovich. So already, I don't know why he looks a lot older. Maybe it's just like the hairline or something. And I'm not saying that in a mean way, versus like he looks a lot older than the first kid, but a hairline can do that. I don't know, fancy fans. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Julie A. FTW. Hello, everybody. And so I was just telling Allie, I'm excited to see the difference between Casey's vibe with the first roommate and Casey's vibe with this roommate, and just between the eyes and the body language. And now I can't get out of my head from earlier watching Koberger, how they had him in a tiny seat just like Casey.
Oh my God. With him though, you're next to women, like you look silly.
He looked so, like, it's one thing with Casey in the middle of like a bunch of men looking small, but for Koberger on a table full of women looking small, it's just so silly. It really is.
Yeah. Hey, I saw a picture of Tony Lazzaro like on the stand at some point going through this. So like their friend and her boyfriend, and he looked a lot older than that first kid as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the first kid was 22. Cameron, I think he was 22 if I'm not mistaken. So I'm curious. We'll pay attention to what their ages are.
Okay.
All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay, here we go.
It's Nathan Lesnovich, NathanLezniewicz.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Not too bad.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly as Lesnovich?
Lesnovich.
Lesnovich.
Oh, shit. Lesnovich.
Hey, it matters.
Good morning. Where do you currently live in Florida?
Yes, sir.
Where do you live?
I live in Fort Pierce.
How long have you lived there?
I grew up there and I moved back about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Was there a time period where you lived in Orlando?
Yes, sir.
When did you live here in Orlando?
2007 to 2009.
Why?
I was going to school at Full Sail University.
We heard a little bit about Full Sail, but what were you doing at Full Sail?
I was going to school for audio engineering.
For audio engineering?
Yep.
I'm sure he got a Mac too.
How long did you attend Full Sail?
For a year and a half.
Oh, without a doubt.
While you were at Full Sail, did you obtain any type of degree?
No, sir.
And can you tell the jury what you're doing now?
I currently play in a band called Kaya Vibe out of Vero Beach.
Oh no.
I play in a band. I'm a musician.
Oh.
Kaya.
He's about to say it. He's about to say the band name again. It's like he's promoting. So hold on. You went to prestigious school, audio engineer. You totally had a Mac, okay? And then it's like, so did you graduate with that degree? Nah. So what do? I play in a band. He wants to make sure that they get the name of this band correct too. Kai Bai, okay?
Come see us every Saturday at such and such down the road.
Like, oh man. And no hating on, on playing in the band. I just think it's funny, like that. Nah, I didn't end up getting that degree. I play in a band. I play the bass. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me jump back because it was funny the way he said that.
Uh-huh.
While you were at Full Sail, did you obtain any type of degree?
No, sir.
And can you tell the jury what you're doing now?
I currently play in a band called Kaya Vibe out of Vero Beach. I play in a band. I'm a musician. Kaya Vibe. I play keyboard and percussion.
Yeah, you do.
Did you also play in bands or while you attended Full Sail?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
You wanted the court reporter to get
While
that
you were
accurate.
attending Full Sail,
Yeah.
where did you live?
I lived at Sutton Place with Tony and Cameron.
Tony, what's his last name?
Lazaro and
And-
Cameron Campana.
When did you first start living with Mr. Lazaro?
The end of May in 2008, I believe 2008.
When you moved in with Mr. Lazaro, where did you sleep?
I slept on the couch.
Oh. Well, that's not fair.
How long were you
Wonder-
planning on staying?
Wonder if
About a month
Casey
and a
did
half
his
until their
laundry.
Sorry. It was the long blinks for me right there where it felt like he was processing. Wait a second. Why did I get this shit? Why did I get this shit out of this situation?
It's like
was
after
like-
he said it, he realized how messed up it was.
Yeah, I'm paying a third of the rent, man. I guarantee Casey wasn't sleep. Did he originally have the room? Did Casey take it? I'm curious. It really looked like he realized right in this moment. Right there. You see that? Wait a second. Why am I sleeping on the couch?
All right. When you moved in with Mr. Lazaro, where did you sleep?
I slept on the couch.
Right here. Right. What? Shit.
Damn.
How long were you
He
planning
looked
on staying?
down.
About a month and a half until their lease ended. My original lease had ended, and then Tony and me and another gentleman were going to move into another apartment starting when Tony's lease ended there at Sutton Place.
So you were just kind of buying time until.
You're right, until Tony's lease was up.
All right. Did you attend classes with Mr. Lazaro
Yes, I did.
during this time period?
Not during this time period, no.
During the time period of, let's go with the end of May, June, and July of 2008, do you recall what your school schedule was?
I believe my school schedule for the month of June was 9 to 5.
Did you work outside of going to school?
I was a musician. I traveled with my band playing.
Did you have performances to give during this time period?
Yes, sir.
Did you perform locally or did you leave town?
All over the place. I'd leave town a lot.
It's kind of a big deal. All right.
Did there come a time during this time period, May, June 2008, where you met Casey Anthony?
Yes, sir.
How did you first meet Ms. Anthony?
The drummer for my band, Daniel Howard, he was having a birthday party on, I believe it was May 24th. And that's where Tony and Casey first met. And that's where I also met Casey.
Did I mention that I have a band? Because it was the drummer of that band, Caylee, that I was having a birthday party, and we were just slapping on the bass and the percussions, and that's where I met Casey for the first time. Caylee, do you need me to repeat the spelling of
Caylee? But also kind of interesting, Casey, that's how you meet at a party, of course.
I was waiting for him to say that she was dating him, honestly, like the drummer, but he said no. But I guess we'll see. We may get there.
Yeah.
What can you tell the jury about your first impressions or how the defendant was acting when you first met her?
Seemed like just, like a normal 21, 22-year-old girl. I mean, she seemed fine. She was outgoing. She was talkative.
How did she and Tony appear to get along?
They seemed to get along great.
Were you aware at that first meeting that the defendant had a daughter?
No, not at first. No, sir.
When did you first become aware that the defendant had a daughter?
It had to be very shortly thereafter, probably in the next week or two to follow. Probably the next few days, actually.
Did you ever meet her daughter?
Yes, I did.
What was her name?
Her name is Caylee.
Where did you meet Caylee?
At my apartment.
How many times in all do you think you've seen Caylee Anthony?
2 to 3 times.
So just like Cameron.
Nothing like introducing your little baby to a bunch of strange guys,
During this time period, when you first met the defendant and she came over to your apartment with her daughter, did she ever spend the night?
Did Casey ever spend the night, or did Caylee ever spend the night?
Both together?
No, sir.
Did there come a time where the defendant started spending more time at your apartment?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a time when she basically stayed every day?
Yes, sir.
When was that?
Approximately the 3rd and 4th week of June was when her staying over picked up quite a bit.
Huh, convenient.
I take it you've had conversations with the defendant while she stayed with you?
Yes, sir.
Times. Did she ever tell you anything about her employment?
She said that she was employed at Universal Studios.
Did she tell you what she did at Universal Studios?
Event coordination, event planning, event coordination.
Did you ever see any IDs, like an ID badge or anything that would tell you that she worked at Universal?
No, sir.
Did she ever talk about her work?
Every once in a while.
Okay. What would she tell you about her work?
The only thing that we had ever talked about was a Batman premiere that was coming up when Batman first came out.
What about a Batman premiere?
Same thing. This is what Cameron said, The Dark Knight. Right? I'm sure she amped it up like, hey, I could get some early access. You flash your VIP drum pass and, I'll use my Universal, connections and we'll get in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No.
They're pretty consistent so far, him and Cameron's testimony.
They are. Also, though, it makes me, so how she's like a normal 20 whatever year old girl,
Right.
Outgoing and talkative. It's like, I'm thinking attention seeking.
Yes.
Okay, that checks.
Right. Well, and I don't want this to come off wrong. I had my daughter. I got pregnant at 21, had her at 22. I wasn't a normal 22-year-old when I had her. Everyone else was experiencing going out for the first time, drinking, partying, and I was changing my gears, so when you say normal 21, 22-year-old, that does pop off in my head as that's not what I would expect a mom of such a young child to be. That lifestyle doesn't make sense for me.
That's a damn good point, actually. And a lot of moms complain that, once they have kids young, their friends stop wanting to do stuff with them. It's not fun anymore. They're wanting to go out and stuff. So, damn, that's a good point, Melissa.
It didn't slow her down at all. And just for anyone who's asking, this is Casey's boyfriend at the time, Tony, he had roommates. So last night on Allie's, which you could find at the last episode on our playlist, we went through Cameron. And so this is the other roommate, Nathan. What was his name?
Yes.
I know it's
Yep.
Caylee.
Nathan something with the L, like a long, weird little, I can't even try to say his last name. Yeah.
Yeah. And so these were, we didn't get to hear from Tony yet, but the roommates of Tony.
Yep.
And they're also significant because Casey was living there during the 31 days that Caylee was missing. And when Cindy went and found Casey and dragged her out, it was at Tony's apartment, which is their house too.
Yep.
That Universal was doing a premiere and that she could get some tickets for some of the other guys in the apartment there that were interested in going.
Well, I had to
Are
talk
you
to
interested in
her.
going?
That was
If there was a ticket available, I would go.
Was there a ticket available?
Relevancy,
Your Honor, it goes to the defendant's state of mind.
sustain.
He didn't
Oh.
even finish.
Other than that,
Sustained.
would she ever complain about her work?
No, sir.
I believe you said that during this time period, you were going to classes from 9 to 5.
Yes, sir.
While you were getting ready to go to school, did you ever observe the defendant getting ready to go to work?
I mean, she'd get ready. I mean, she would leave when we would leave in the morning. I just naturally assumed that was where she was heading, was to work.
And would you come right or usually come straight home from your classes back to the apartment?
It all depends.
He may have had
To
band
your
practice,
knowledge,
sir.
did the defendant have a key to that apartment?
No, sir.
Were there times that you would come home from class or after your day that the defendant was there?
And the defendant was there?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you spend time alone with her while her boyfriend was
Yes,
out of
sir.
school or whatever?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Little eager to answer that question, aren't you, Mr. Kai? You spent time with Casey when Tony wasn't there at the apartment? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She washed my socks. Like, whoa, he was quick to answer that. He didn't even have to think. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I was with my percussions and all. Okay.
Wait, did we hear that from Cameron? A question like that?
No, we
Okay,
did
I
not.
don't think so.
That's a good point. We did not hear them ask Cameron, did you ever spend time alone with her?
Yeah.
We did laundry. The percussion is so funny. Sorry, but I always think about like Sebastian from Little Mermaid. Just kiss the girl. You know, "Sha-la-la-la-la, don't be mine." You know, like
I love the little
Percussion.
percussion sounds you're adding.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
because it's just such a random instrument. I haven't heard many people say like, "Yeah, I play in the band." Oh yeah, what do you play? Percussions.
Yeah, me neither. That's true. Sorry.
He's got some spunk though. I like it.
After your day that the defendant was there.
And the defendant was there?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you spend time alone with her while her boyfriend was
Yes,
out of
sir.
school or whatever?
Yes, sir.
What'd you guys do?
Hang out, watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it's with Full Sail, with the way the schedule works, everyone's in transition all the time. People are constantly coming and going. You're home for a few hours to maybe eat, get a couple hours sleep or watch TV, and then you're right back at lab or back in class again for the afternoon or evening.
Right.
Was the defendant easy to talk to?
Yes, sir.
Was she, how would you describe this time period while she was living with you, her demeanor?
Seemed normal. You know, happy, like, you know, everything was fine. I didn't notice any,
Imagine that.
nothing caught my eye as far as her personality or mood swings or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you had testified a few minutes ago that you had seen Caylee, Anthony, approximately 2 to 3 times.
Yes, sir.
When she started living or staying for extended periods of time at your apartment, did you ever see Caylee?
No, sir.
Did that ever seem odd to you?
It did. I didn't pay too much attention to it. Cameron Campana and I had a conversation about it, I think once or twice, like that we hadn't seen Caylee around in a couple of weeks.
Did you ever ask the defendant where Caylee was?
Yes, sir, I did.
What did she tell you?
That she was at that time that she was at Disney World with the nanny and that they were going to Cocoa to the beach the following day.
Wow. So they're very consistent. Now, granted, they could have spoken about this prior, but I don't think that they did. Like, not that they didn't have a conversation, but they didn't plan what they were going to say. I think it's very organic from both Cameron and Nathan. This is what Casey told them.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And also, was his like energy not so off when he asked him, what did y'all do? It was like a little smirk and a little like resituating himself. That was odd.
Sir, our schedules overlap. Sometimes we'd go to the lab, sometimes we'd sleep, sometimes we'd play the percussions, watch movies, like it's just all over the place. So like your bed was the couch, Nathan. Don't think I forgot that, okay? So what's up,
For real.
I don't, again, and I said this yesterday, is it odd how close even Cameron knew Casey, like down to having conversations about, hey, you don't have to go out by the fountain and talk. Like, who are you talking to? That's, I don't know. Like, just to be so close to the roommates was interesting to me.
Yeah, it is for me too.
I think she hooked up with all of them. I think, like, that's just my opinion.
It certainly appeared that there was something there. Even his like facial expression, he had like a little smirk for a second after that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We hung out without Tony. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Between labs and stuff. Yeah, it was very, very nice. He wanted to answer. He didn't even fucking get the question. Didn't even come out, and he answered it twice.
Yes.
He was eager. Okay. Oh my goodness. And I have, I won't even say it. I don't want to be mean.
Were you ever told any other places where Caylee was?
Just typically that she was with the nanny and they were out doing various things. I mean, it was summertime. It didn't really raise a flag to anyone. It seemed like a typical summertime things to do.
Was there anything about the defendant's demeanor when she told you where Caylee was that made you worried?
No, sir.
That made you question what she was telling you?
No, sir.
While the defendant was living with you, did she ever tell you anything about her parents?
Not much, sir, no.
You say not much. What do you recall her saying?
When her and her mother would have phone conversations, she would leave the apartment to have those conversations. Because
See, that's consistent. So ask yourself why. And when Cameron was on the stand, Casey said, it's because it's my time to vent. In my opinion, no, that was when Casey was telling her mom in those 31 days, where are you? Where's Caylee? And Casey had to lie, and she did not want to hear. She didn't want them to hear what she was having to convince her mom.
Yeah, because they would know it was absolute bullshit, because they're with her and she's obviously making up all kinds of random shit. So yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I'll check unnamed. It's been so busy today. I haven't had a chance to go through all of them, but I will check.
As she said, from time to time that they would get into arguments on the phone and she didn't want us to have to listen to them argue on the phone.
Did you ever hear an argument that the defendant had with anybody on the phone?
No, sir.
Did you ever hear her speaking purportedly to her daughter on the phone?
No, sir.
Nope.
Did you ever hear her speaking purportedly to the nanny on the phone?
No, sir.
Nope.
Now, outside of, I'll strike that. Were you aware during this time period that did the defendant have an automobile?
Excuse me?
Did she have a car?
Yes, sir.
What kind of car did she have?
It was a little white car. I'm not sure exactly what kind of car it was.
During this time period, did you ever ride in that car?
No, sir.
Did you ever get near the car?
No, sir.
Did the defendant ever tell you that she was having any car trouble during this time period?
Just one day when she had broken down around the corner at the Scott and Tony had left in the morning to go pick her up. That was the only time that I recall.
Were you home when the defendant called regarding that?
Yes, sir.
Did you see Tony leave to go get her?
Yes, sir.
Were you at home when they came back to your apartment?
Yes, sir.
How long was Tony gone approximately?
Maybe 15, 20 minutes at the most.
When do you have any recollection of them coming home with anything?
No, sir. I don't remember exactly if she came home with anything or not.
So what type of things would the defendant do while in the apartment? Did she cook?
Yes, sir.
Did she clean?
Yes.
This is all relevant. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Did she ever do your laundry?
Did she ever do my laundry? No, sir.
Oh,
That was the first thing too. It wasn't, did you ever see her doing laundry? This time the prosecutor's like, nope, let's go straight to it. Was she doing your laundry? Was she
did
washing
you
your
wash
drawers?
your socks? You know, like, oh,
Yes.
how interesting. But I do also think it's interesting that, yeah, she'd cook, she cleaned, she probably did a great job at making herself seem like a Susie homemaker, right? While she's living amongst them rent-free,
Mhm.
stealing from Amy and her parents, all while her daughter, and you have to remember, please do not forget defense's narrative. She knew Caylee was gone. She knew she was dead.
Yep.
Okay. And her behavior was what?
Yeah. It makes me wonder though, like, was she doing housework at home, like at her mom and dad's, or, was she just a spoiled little brat and then putting on this act that she was, Susie
I don't
homemaker.
think so, because remember George explained how she would sleep till about 1, 2 in the afternoon, right? To get up to go to her shift.
Yeah.
That didn't exist, which that shift was at Tony's house.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Outside of the apartment, did you socialize with the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Where would that be?
Fusion nightclub, mostly on Friday evenings.
What is Fusion Nightclub?
It's a restaurant bar on the eastern side of Orlando, there closer to UCF.
Were there any particular things going on Friday nights there?
Tony and Roy House and a couple of their friends had a production company, an event type company where they go around to various bars and clubs and promote events and just try to get people in the door and everything. So Friday nights they were working at Fusion.
How many times do you believe that you've been at Fusion with the defendant?
2 or 3 times, maybe.
Can we bring up?
Oh, is this where we get some pictures? Also, was there like a hot body contest? Is there something? I remember hearing something about that.
A what, t-shirt contest or something about that? I guess we'll see, because again, this was like before everyone, well, they took pictures themselves, but the club themselves took the pictures and posted online.
Yeah. Okay. Should be interesting.
Objection to what? Well,
I object, Your Honor. You have an objection to what? I love it. Oh my God, I love this judge.
Ooh.
objection to what?
Oh, he said, may we approach?
Yep.
Well, it's not being published to the jury. You're objecting to the picture? Okay, let's let him look at the picture. I haven't seen it yet, and it's not published to the jury, so let's wait.
Bring.
What'd you say you cut out?
That's what I don't know. All I know is I was like, I cut out and I couldn't hear you or the thing.
Jose is objecting before it's even published. So again, they will have the witness identify it. And then they'll say, Your Honor, I'd move to admit this exhibit. That is when you would make an objection, not before. And it makes me wonder, how experienced were you, Jose? And I'm not minimizing, because he did make the name for himself and he did a good job. But like, he's made a lot of little things that I've noticed where it's like, do you have it? Like, I wonder how long he's had experience in big criminal trials prior to this.
Yeah, that's a good question, because he does seem a bit entitled, like, with his objections and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he's bald now. You could tell because he looked, not in a mean way, but he bald since that photo.
Yeah. Yep. I was looking at that too.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I can't see it.
Doesn't come to your monitors.
They are close for a roommate photo. I didn't. This is all kinds of weird.
Even the look on his face is like not what I would expect.
The question.
Thank you, sir. I'm showing you what's been marked for identification BS. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, sir.
What is that a picture of?
That is a picture of myself and Casey Anthony.
With your arm around
Do you
her.
recall on what date that photograph was taken?
I don't recall the exact date, no, sir.
Okay.
Right, ATS?
Was there ever a time when you were at Fusion with the defendant that she participated in a contest?
Yes, sir.
What type of contest was that?
It was a hot body contest.
Okay. Objection sustained unless you can put it in the date.
Well, that's what I was trying to work on, Judge.
Oh,
You work on it
Thank you.
because he just said he doesn't remember dates. So
The dress that the defendant is wearing, can you see it in that picture?
Yes, sir.
Does that in any way help you determine on what date that picture was taken?
No, sir.
Okay.
I'd been there a couple times with her, and I don't know exactly which date this was, or which Friday this was.
Okay. Do you know where that photograph was taken?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where was that photograph taken?
At Fusion.
Was this during the month of June of 2008?
was not relevant. As to that question, overruled.
We would ask for a sidebar.
Not at this point.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure.
Sir?
sorry, buddy.
Was this picture taken in June of 2008?
Yes, sir.
And does that picture appear to be a true and accurate representation of what you look like and what the defendant looked like in June of 2008?
Yes, sir.
At this time, the state would move what's been marked for identification BS into evidence as states number 3, I believe.
Mr. Baez.
We would object to relevance. So,
Okay.
if you have further arguments.
Okay, you can approach.
Object to relevance when it has massive relevance.
Is that what he said? Because I couldn't hear it.
Proceed, objection overruled.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Again, at this time,
Oh.
the state would move what's been previously marked for identification
Shut down.
BS into
Yep.
evidence as states number 3.
It would be entered as evidence of a defense objection as states numbered.
Twee. Percussion.
Thank you. At this time, Your Honor, may I publish that photo?
We have a standing objection on all of these issues.
Jose.
Okay. Based
Oh my
on
God.
our motions, you have a standing objection to this line of photographs. You may publish to the jury.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his
Now,
face there. I'm
During the
sorry.
time,
the percussion snap. That one, hello, but 2, holy crap. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. Congratulations. I wish StreamYard let you see on that end, you know, like who gets gifted. But holy crap, thank you so much, Nav. That's very generous. Welcome, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Nav. And yeah,
It's
lots
been
of
so
new members.
long. Yeah. By the look on her face, I don't think it was a good lay. It's as it there's something holding back. But hey, Atis, did I see you say before Jose and Casey openly dated after trial? Because I didn't know that. I've missed you, Nab. It's so lovely seeing you. Thank you so much. Did they? Sorry, I wanted to give you a percussion for thank you. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much, Nab. That's gonna be stuck in my head.
I love the way you had to redo it, like an even better one.
Did they? I'm pretty certain they were a thing and she lived with him. No way. I love the percussion.
Oh.
I did it just for you. Thank you so much, Nav. No, she doesn't take the stand. Oh, sugar, but not that I remember. Which is probably smart.
This is why when I watch you at night, I cannot be like in the room near anyone sleeping because you cannot help but laugh. It's so funny.
Yo, I kind of need a percussion now for my show. You know what I mean? I feel like I need to have one sitting here.
We should get you one.
Yeah. Did you blow a horn in high school? No, I didn't. That was all Tess. I can't take that. But I feel like I'm gonna take up percussion from here on out. It's gonna be a thing. But I feel like Cameron wanted to get a lay, never got a lay though. I feel like Nathan got the lay, and that's why there's like this tension between them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I definitely feel the tension as well, and there's something going on there. Also, I just want to say to all the new members, make sure that you look in the emoji section because there are lots of really, really cute emojis, funny emojis, different stuff you can use there. And I don't know that everybody always knows that when you get a membership like that, then now you can use those emojis.
Yay! That wasn't the best percussion. that was a little underwhelming as far as the percussion, but you get the point. Thank you, Nav, for 3 months. Hell yes, I'm a dancing strawberry. You moved on up. Hell yeah, Nav. But yeah, I'm feeling some tension here. Go ahead.
Me too. Every time I hear you say ba-da-ba, I think of like McDonald's ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Because I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing, but like I'm trying to imitate the Little Mermaid. It's you know, sha la 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 la, don't be shy, da 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 da, kiss the girl, and he literally goes percussion. That I'm not doing right, but if you listen to that music video, you'll know what I'm trying to imitate.
I'm gonna go freaking clip it after this, so you have the clip.
Yeah, and it's probably way different than what I'm imagining in my head, but it's all right. You get what you get. And thank you, Solo Angel Mom. We made a YouTube baby. We did.
I can clip you doing it and then what it actually says and send it to you.
Yes, man. Okay, I have it in my head, but again, it's probably nothing of how I'm imagining it. But like, yeah, you get what I mean. Shark bait. Yeah, I'm telling you. Listen, usually I do it all with my mouth, but all right. Hold on. Hold on. As soon as that left, I was like, no.
As soon as that came out.
As soon as it left my lips, I was like, oof, that sounded really bad. I meant like usually I'm a soundboard. You know what? Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. You know what I meant. Okay.
I know what you meant. Look at his face. He's looking at you, Melissa.
I feel it. He's judging my percussions, man. You call yourself a professional.
During the times that you were with the defendant at Fusion, how would you describe her demeanor to the jury?
She always seemed like she was having a good time. I mean, she's not an introvert by any means. I mean, she's outgoing personality. She liked to go out and have a good time.
At any time that she was living in your apartment, did you ever see her distraught?
Ever see her what? Excuse me?
Distraught,
No, sir.
depressed,
No, sir.
scared,
No, sir.
angry,
No, sir.
worried?
No, sir.
At any time that you knew Casey Anthony while she was living with you, did she ever tell you that her daughter was missing,
No, sir.
that her daughter had been kidnapped,
No, sir.
that while you were out at school, she was out looking for her?
No, sir.
Did she ever ask you for help in trying to find her?
No, sir.
She won't even look at him.
Were you present at your apartment on July 15th of 2008?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell the jury what you and your roommates were doing in the early evening hours of that night?
The only ones home were me and Anthony Lazaro, and we were playing video games, sitting on the couch waiting for the All-Star game to start that evening.
Who else was home?
It was just me and Tony, and Casey Anthony was there.
What was the defendant doing while you guys were playing the video games?
I don't exactly remember. She was just, just kind of hanging out here and there, bouncing around. I don't know if she was doing laundry at the time or not, but she was just there hanging out.
Laundry.
Again, during this time period, was there anything about the defendant's demeanor that gave you any concern whatsoever?
No, sir.
At some point, was there a knock on the door?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell the jury what happened when there was a knock on the door?
When there was first a knock at the door, Casey Anthony answered the door, and there was a blonde girl there that I did not recognize. At that point, Casey proceeded to step outside the apartment and close the door for a couple minutes. She returned back to the apartment coming in, followed by, now I know to be her mother, Cindy Anthony, and also with Amy Huizinga.
Amy.
Without going into any specifics about what was said, did you see the defendant come back into the apartment after she left with the blonde girl?
Tell me she doesn't look like Liv Tyler's character in Lord of the Rings. Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings?
No, I've never seen it, actually.
She looks very much like Liv Tyler's character. Lord, let me show you. Her ears pop out in such a way. Okay, so I'm going to show you.
She definitely has little pointy ears there.
Okay, so ready? Take a little mental image. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yes, she definitely
Bump it
does.
and all.
Yeah, bump it and all. Oh, wow.
Yeah, very elf-like, her fucking ears, and now you got the part with a little bump it. It's I'm telling you.
That's
I'm
kind
telling
of
you.
crazy, actually. It's a little creepy, the bump it part and all, but yeah.
Yeah. All she needs is those cheesy contacts that don't perfectly align with your people. Yes, Cindy went to Tony's, found her daughter, and dragged her out. It was like, and that's when those 911 calls were made. The very first one was when she had Casey in the car, and she's like, "You better tell me where Caylee is."
Yep. And Amber sent the clip. Yay!
I
Thank you.
know. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do it yourself. First, we got to create the mood. Percussion.
You see what I mean?
Twins. Words. Yeah, you see.
That the percussions.
Yeah, it was so close to little.
Was it?
Yes.
I mean, I feel like I'm about to join his band. I'm pretty on the fucking money with this, right?
The pa or whatever.
I'm
That part.
basically Caylee and Jade now. That's what I had in my head the whole time. Thank you, ATS.
Oh my god.
Caylee and Jade revamped. We'll be at your local hot body contest near you, okay?
Oh my gosh, it's funny.
So yeah, here's Liv. All right. She's elfin. She's got those ears, man.
Dude, it's so close. I cannot get over even the hair. I wonder if she was inspired. That's
I
why
don't know, man, but even the fucking shirt, that is not how she dressed, which I know that's
No.
not, out of the norm when they're on trial, but really it is buttoned to the top, Allie. It's
Yeah.
buttoned all the way up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, little Red.
Not
Yes.
even one undone.
What happened when she came
Yep.
back in with the block?
She came back in
Nathan even has one loose compared to it's a nun elf.
and her and Cindy Anthony were in an argument, and Cindy Anthony had asked her to grab her things and to let's go, to which Casey Anthony had replied that she'll go outside and speak with her, but that she wasn't leaving.
Did she go outside?
Yes, sir.
Did she come back?
No, sir.
After she left with her mother, did you ever see in person Casey Anthony again?
No, sir.
Did you ever speak
Oh.
with her on the phone again?
No, sir.
At some point, did you meet her brother Lee?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me how you were feeling when this happened. I mean, she's taken out. What was your thought process?
We were just kind of a little confused at the time. We didn't know what was going on. We just figured, it was something between her and her mother and her roommate, and just left it at that.
Her
for the time being.
roommate, Amy,
Were
wasn't
you
her
worried
roommate?
about anything?
No, sir.
At some point, did you meet Lee Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Tell the jury approximately how long. I know you weren't looking at a watch, but approximately how long after the defendant had left that you met her brother?
Maybe, if I remember correctly, it was early evening when Casey left. It was probably mid to later evening. I'd say somewhere between 9 and midnight when Lee Anthony came by.
What can you tell the jury about his overall demeanor? What was his state?
Lee at that point had kind of felt bad for us a little bit. He said his sister was known to get into trouble here and there, and that he wished that he had met us prior, so that he could warn us to.
What's the objection? Sustain.
Don't want you to talk about what anybody other than you said.
Okay.
All right. Just asking about general demeanor. Was he nice to you?
Yes, he was, sir.
Did he appear angry?
No, sir.
Did he appear worried?
Yes, sir.
While he was at the apartment, did you give him anything?
He gathered a few of Casey Anthony's belongings. What exactly, I don't know. If I remember correctly, Tony was the one who helped him gather up some of her belongings.
During this night, were you also visited by law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
How many times?
Twice.
Wow.
The first time law enforcement came, was that before Lee Anthony came over or after Lee Anthony came?
Before Lee came over.
When the deputy came over, was anything, to your knowledge, given to him?
Yes, sir.
What was given to him?
A cell phone.
Did you give that to law enforcement or did Tony give it to him?
Anthony Lazaro
I'm
gave
sorry.
that. Tony
Anthony
Lazaro gave that to
All right.
law enforcement.
At that time, did law enforcement question you about anything?
No, sir.
How long was law enforcement there that first time?
5 minutes, just long enough to collect the cell phone and to fill out a receipt form or some sort for it.
And then Lee came over.
Yes, sir.
At a subsequent time, I believe you testified, law enforcement came back.
Yes, sir.
How long after Lee had left did law enforcement come back?
I can't say exactly, maybe an hour or two.
By this time, were you aware or were you made aware that no one had seen Caylee for an extended period of time?
Yes, sir.
When the police came to your apartment the second time, What did they do while they were there?
They searched the apartment.
Did you have any problem with them searching the apartment?
No, sir.
How long were they there all in all?
Maybe 20, 25 minutes.
Did they take items with them?
I do not recall, sir.
While the defendant was staying with you on a daily basis in June and into July of 2008, did you ever see any article of clothing belonging to Caylee Anthony?
No, sir.
Did you ever see any toys belonging to Caylee Anthony?
No, sir.
Any stuffed animals belonging to Caylee Anthony?
Not that I recall, sir, no.
Thank you. I have no further questions of the witness, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Approximate length of your cross-examination.
Kind of nervous.
I know.
That's why I'm asking you approximate length.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. He's not happy.
5 minutes, okay? You may proceed.
Okay, Melissa, before
Yeah,
we hear this,
pause it.
just think it's funny that he's like, Casey's mom came and she told her, I'll come outside, but I'm not leaving. And then it's like, then what happened? Then she left.
Yep. Then she left
Yeah,
because it got serious real quick. I didn't realize the cops went twice to the apartment and they were fully open. Yeah, you could search. They didn't have to let them search, but
yeah.
ooh, man, yep, you guys were living in this. Oh, she was fine, a normal 21, 22-year-old. She would cook, do laundry. Yeah, and then reality. That's what I'm saying. You really do not know someone. They're capable of putting on a great performance, but the reality is what came knocking at that door.
Yep. And can you imagine, as kids their age, that's a pretty scary. It's an experience that would definitely shake you up a little bit, even at our age, right? The cops have to come search your place for a missing baby.
Right.
Oh.
Well, and I think it's interesting because at least with Cameron, we knew that he was under the belief that she was innocent, at least the time that he testified. I don't know what Nathan's thinking.
Yeah.
Jose. All right, Jose.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I don't want to butcher your last name. Can you repeat that? for me?
Yes, it's Lesnovich.
Lesnovich?
Lesnovich.
Lesnovich.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you, sir.
There we go.
Mr. Lesnovich, you saw Caylee how many times?
2 to 3 times approximately.
Did she appear hungry to you at any time?
No, sir.
Oh, my
Did
God.
she look well fed,
Yes, sir.
well taken care of?
Yes, sir.
Was Casey attentive to her?
Yes, sir.
And did you ever see Casey strike her or yell at her or
No,
treat her
sir.
improperly?
No, sir.
And in fact, in your opinion, she was a good mother from what you saw. I'll rephrase, Judge. I'll rephrase.
Okay, rephrase it.
Now, subsequent to where you are today, you found out, of course, that during that time that Casey was living with you, that Caylee was no longer with us, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, looking back at Casey's behavior, there was absolutely no indication to you that Casey gave you that Caylee was dead.
No, sir.
And there was no signs in any way, shape, or form as far as you and the outside world could see, or as
Yes.
far as you could see, I should say.
No, sir.
Now,
He's being so careful.
Mm-hmm.
the Casey's car, where did she park the car when she lived with you?
In the parking lot.
Right next to your car?
Well, it's random as far as parking spaces go and who gets one, but typically we were all within a few parking spaces of each other. Yes, sir.
Okay. And she didn't park 50 yards away
No, sir.
where no other cars were parked.
No, sir.
I have no further questions.
Any other questions of this witness, Mr. George? Okay.
Oh,
Sir, were you present on June 16, 2008 at Casey Anthony's home when Caylee drowned in the pool?
No, sir.
Again!
Oh my God.
Again, Allie! Same
I
as last
cannot
night.
believe that. Let's see
And-
what the judge says and if they actually object this time, because that's fucked up.
Yeah, turn your damn microphones on. And what's crazy is he walked away and then he's like, you know what? Let me make sure I hook on the same way that this ended yesterday. Were you there on this day when Caylee drowned? You can't do that. You cannot add evidence that is not supported by facts into a question. You can't do that.
Oh my God. Wow, what a sleazy, slimy way of going about this. I cannot get over that.
Yep. Wow.
Were you present on June 16, 2008 at Casey Anthony's home when Caylee drowned in the pool?
No, sir.
No further questions.
Okay, any other questions of this witness?
Wow.
Okay, sir, you may stand down.
Why did they not object, Melissa? Because
I
they didn't.
don't know.
Ah,
Hello? Facts not in evidence. You cannot. That's not. Hello. It's so easy. It's such an easy thing to object on. Hello. You cannot be adding in testimony when asking questions of a witness. You know, like you can't do that, especially facts not in evidence. There's nothing to support that happened.
my God. That's so messed up. And Nav, you're 100% right. No wonder it got hooked in the jury's head.
Yeah, because if you like, again, repetition is the best form of brainwashing. If you say it enough, and that's what Jose was doing, he's putting it into their brain over and over and over and over and over to the point where it's gonna sit there and it's gonna come to life, unfortunately.
Yep.
Okay, you want to see what Nathan looks like? Test him.
Yeah.
No way. I don't like seeing people grow old. I don't like this, including me. It freaks me out. Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
We need the percussions, man. Like, what? Oh, I don't like aging.
That's crazy. Wow.
Nathan. Oh. It's
Which, I
freaking me
mean,
out.
he's like 40 now. You know what I mean? He's dad now, probably, or something. So
You know, I just don't like it.
doesn't look like he's living in Florida.
What? You look older than who you with? Nate? What? This isn't a percussion. What you doing? Oh man. I have no idea. What? No, he didn't age terribly. I just don't like when, especially like I feel this way often when I watch movies and I realize how older like a celebrity got. It makes me sad. It makes me really sad. Yeah, I think he was. You're right. I think both Cameron and him were in the Peacock.
I need to watch that. Before we come back for another episode, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. So
I've
what
been
are your
meaning to do
overall
that.
thoughts?
I don't really have anything yet except for I'm just so interested. Like I was hanging on to their every word. I want to see how this unfolds. I think that she's a little hoochie mama, you know. I think and that's about it so far. It's really like fascinating to hear in real time kind of what was going on, and you're picturing it in your mind, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just hooked on every word, but that's about it so far. What about you?
I saw a clear distinction between Cameron and Nathan. I think bless Cameron's heart, I feel like he's very naive, and not in a bad way, just very naive and innocent. And Nathan, I think that he doesn't want Tony to know, but they did laundry and they hit those percussions.
Yep.
That's, but I don't know. I don't know if he thought that there was something like, did they automatically jump to she couldn't have possibly did this just from the little interactions they had with her for a month where she played Betty Crockett?
Maybe because as a young man who doesn't, probably not a very avid true crime watcher or whatever, not into true crime, like maybe so. Maybe haven't had a lot of experience with like manipulative people or dishonest people too. That all kind of factors in, I guess.
Yeah.
How
So then we
sheltered were
have
they?
Roy and Maria. Roy and Maria. Which one was Roy?
I don't know. I
And
don't
Maria.
think I've heard those names yet.
I've heard Roy, and I don't have my notes on me. I think, is that a former boyfriend, Roy?
Wait, it's either a former boyfriend or is that the guy who came? That's not the one who came to visit her, is it? I've heard of Roy too during one of those like police interviews or something when they were talking about different people. I do remember that now.
Yes,
But
because I had to start writing down the multiple guys' names, and Roy was one of them. But not the one that went and visited her. She didn't have any connection other than we went to middle school together. You remember? So he doesn't have any relevance as far as I can recall.
But I think his name did start with an R, maybe. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, you're probably right. Hi, Fragile Like a Bomb. Yeah, MK. Well, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but there's a lot of guys who the ends of their facial hair are gray, but the roots are dark. And it's like, wait a second. I think that's supposed to be flipped around, Roy Kronk. Who was Roy, though?
Wait, Roy Kronk is the guy who found Caylee.
Yeah, but this is Roy House and Maria Kish.
Right, I know. I'm just saying, like Kelly's comment, I think that's where I've heard Roy before, probably from that, maybe.
This is a different Roy, though, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Congrats, Luna's human. Unless this isn't Roy's son, is it? Maybe it's Roy's son.
I don't know. I'd say it's probably like you said, maybe one of her boyfriends or something, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just Google
Well, I'm excited. Hi, Gina F. Yes, this is live. Unless I recorded that in the past and I knew you were going to come in. I know, Little Miss, there's so many, right? I don't know. I'm really excited to see. So when does Tony come? Okay. So we have Anthony Roy and Maria Kish, Brian Berner, which I believe he's part of PD. Then Jamie and Erica. Anthony. He doesn't look like her type.
Is he another room? I think he might be. I'm Googling it. Roy Clint House and Casey participated in hot body contest at the club. I don't know. What's his last name again? Roy.
It didn't say it. That's what it's confusing me. It just said Roy House. Unless that's his name.
No, I think that is his name because
Okay.
him.
Oh, his name is Roy House. I thought it didn't make sense because I'm like, what did that mean, Roy House? Is it Roy's son, the guy who found Caylee because they live in the same house? Like, dude, these titles have been messing me up from day one, Allie.
I know.
There's so many Anthonys.
I know.
Another Anthony. Holy crap. Okay. This one's Tony, which is Anthony, but okay. Oh, man. Yeah, George Glass.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. House moved out of Lazaro's apartment July 1st. He does talk about the hot body contest as well. And he would give wardrobe advice and suggestions to the shot girls. So,
God, him?
Yep.
Roy, I see Roy. So his job, unlike the percussions, is literally giving wardrobe ideas for the shot girls.
Yep.
Lucky guy. I mean, you got paid to do that?
Or maybe he just did it for fun, but he definitely did it. I don't know.
That's funny. Oh, hell yeah. Friggin' Brady Bunch, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll pick up where we left off. What are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing. As far as tomorrow night, like tomorrow day, just watching the trials and stuff. But I'm kind of liked doing other coverage on other stuff after because it's just so much. You know what I
It's
mean?
a lot. Oh, we
Yeah.
have to catch up on Lori today because I missed all of Lori today. I have the other half of Koberger, but I'm like, I really need to see Lori questioning Charles's date.
I know you do. I can't wait for you to see that. I need to catch up too, though, because I didn't see everything from today. But yeah, what are you doing tomorrow? What are you wanting
I
to
don't
do?
know yet. I know I need to do the other half of Idaho, but this is
Yeah.
fun, and I wanna definitely keep going with this.
Well, just let me know. I'm down to do it tomorrow or any other day. So yeah, just let me know
Okay.
what you're thinking after you think about it a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love you. Thank you so much for coming on and for the giggles. I really needed them. And
I love you, and thank you for making me laugh. And like I said, even when I watch you, you laugh like that because you're just funny. It's cool because you're so freaking smart and conversational, like easy to speak to, but you're also hilarious. So I appreciated it. It's even more fun to laugh up here with you instead of just from the chat. But yeah, and I hope the chat got all those giggles too because it's so fun. Like I said, when at nighttime, I'll have to be like the furthest away from the sleeping children because I will wake them up. Like you can't help it but have outbursts of laughter.
hey, how'd your heater did it keep you warm?
Yeah, it
Nice.
worked pretty good. I'm just ready for it
Nice.
to be warm at night though, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming. It's coming very quickly.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, thank you so much for having me, and
Thank
I'll
you.
jump down and let you say goodbye. But I love you, and I'll talk to
I
you.
love you too. All right, good night. And thank you so much, Nav, again. That was so generous and kind of you. And it's just lovely seeing you. But thank you all for being here. Hit the thumbs up if you already haven't. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.